I know I just said that I wasn't going to be buying any more books. I know I just made that point very clearly. And I just uploaded a book haul. But the thing is, I had a book outlet order that got lost in the mail for weeks, and I just thought it wasn't going to come anymore. So I even got like a refund for it and everything. And yet, here she is. So I can't let books going onto my shelf be undocumented, you know, like I have to film a video about it. So today we're going to do a nice little unboxing, which means I need to find my scissors. So let me do that. Okay, unboxing is hopefully going to be less chaotic than my other one. I got my scissors. I don't know why I'm doing this. Anyway, let's get this started. I'm not going to show my address this time. I'm not going to have to make a big black box on the screen because I was showing my address. Not again. Let's open this bitch. This is a mess. I could not open this box nicely, so I just destroyed that. But that's okay, we're just gonna continue. And I'm gonna pick up the first book that I see. Okay, first book I saw. Cobalt Red, How the Blood of the Congo Powers Our Lives by Siddhartha Kara. This title is self-explanatory. This is actually the book I think I was most excited about in this bunch, which is saying a lot because I got a lot of sequels. Towards the beginning of what was happening in Palestine, people were also talking a lot about like the Congo and how it's another like genocide that we should be aware of. So I really wanted to learn more about it. And when I saw this on Book Outlet, it felt like it was fate because I wanted this specific book to learn about that. And I hope it teaches me a lot, and I hope it makes me think a lot more about my technology. I hope I become a better person for reading it. So that's all for this one. Next, this is a weird sized book. This is Gallant by V.E. Schwab. I know nothing about this book. What I do know is that it's V.E. Schwab, and I really like V.E. Schwab, so I picked it up. I haven't read it. It's such a weird size. Like, it's such... Let me show you the other one so you can see what a real book looks like compared next to it. Isn't that weird? I think it's weird. It's really throwing me off here. Let me read you the little description. All her life, Olivia Pryor has wondered who she truly is and where she belongs. Her only clue is a slim, battered journal. Her mother's journal, full of entries that seem to show that she was unraveling and drawings that look like blots of ink, until Olivia notices a hand, a door, a bloom, a skull. Then a letter beckons Olivia home, to Gallant, the one place her mother's journal warns her never to go. That's all I'm going to read. I'm interested because I think V.E. Schwab has such like an amazing imagination, and I love the different worlds that she creates. I especially like V.E. Schwab rather than Victoria Schwab, because if you don't know, she writes under Victoria Schwab for her YA and V.E. Schwab for her adult books. So I really like her more adult books, and I like her fantasy. I'm just excited to get into this. Next, another book I know nothing about. He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker John. This is the sequel to, I think it's right here. She Who Became the Sun. It's right here. I bought it because it's a sequel. What I know about She Who Becomes the Sun is that it follows like a brother and a sister, and one day they go to a fortune teller, and the fortune teller tells the brother that he's gonna live like a really incredible, noteworthy life, and he tells the sister that like no one's gonna remember her. And then her brother dies, and she chooses to pretend to be her brother, and the story takes on from there. And I think it's like inspired by Mulan, but it could just be that it's like an Asian inspired fantasy, and that's where my mind went for some reason. I think I'm thinking Mulan because it's like the gender bending stuff, so I don't know if there's any other likeness. But this is just a duology, so now I have the whole series so I can binge it. And as you'll see in this little haul, I got a lot of sequels because I saw all of them there, and on Book Outlet the books are like $5. This is not an ad, but the books are like $5. And I just can't help it. Like, even though I haven't started, I don't think any of the series that I got the sequels for, I couldn't help it. Because I love binging a series, and like, if you're finding a hardcover for like $6, how can you turn it up? I can't. I have no self-control though. So if you can, please teach me how. Next book. Ooh, this one's beefy. Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. This is the sequel to King of Scars, which I have right down here. That's why I looked. King of Scars, this is another duology, so again I have the whole series now. King of Scars follows Nikolai from the Grisha trilogy, who is a prince and a pirate, and that's all I know. I really love the Grishaverse. I can't help it. I know they're YA. I'm not big on YA anymore, but I did want to read this series. I really like Nikolai. I don't see myself like keeping these books and rereading them, but I did want to at least read them once. So here I am. Is the cover pretty? Ooh, it's got a pretty cover. Look how nice that is. I love that. And yeah, this says list price $22. I did not pay that. I paid maybe $6 or $7. Okay, this one isn't a sequel, but I think the next two are. This is Kate Atkinson's A God in Ruins. A God in Ruins tells the dramatic story of the 20th century through Ursula's beloved younger brother Teddy, would-be poet, heroic pilot, husband, father, and grandfather, as he navigates the perils and progress of a rapidly changing world. After all that Teddy endures in a battle in World War II, his greatest challenge is living in a future he never expected to have. A God in Ruins is ingenious. Why do I not know how to say that word? I swear to God, I've come across this. I'm just gonna stop because it just doesn't really summarize the book anymore. So I didn't know that this was like kind of a sequel to Life After Life. It follows the brother of the main character in Life After Life, and Life After Life is why I picked this up. If you don't know, Life After Life, it's a World War II novel, but it like explores the possibilities of infinite chances and the power of choice through okay, it's been years since I read it, so don't completely quote me on this, but my remembrance of it is that the main character dies and then brought back to life, and then she chooses a different path, and it's just constantly, it's kind of like a Groundhog Day scenario. And I loved that book when I read it. I would love to reread it. But it made me want to read more Kate Atkinson, and I saw this on there, and I liked the name, so I picked it up. And I had no idea it was kind of a sequel, so it fits in with my little sequels haul here. But yeah, I'm excited to delve into this. I'm excited to read more Kate Atkinson. Okay, we got 2 more books. Second to last is Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is the sequel to, let me find it on my shelf. Ooh, everything's falling. Okay. It's a sequel to Black Sun, which is a fantasy story that's inspired by the civilizations of pre-Columbian Americas. It follows this holy city of Tova, where 3 lives are converging during a solar eclipse, prescribed by the sun priest as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on the solstice. The captain of the ship is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries 1 passenger, described as harmless. The passenger is a young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. As Zyla well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. I picked up this book, and hence now this book, because Rebecca Roanhorse is an Indigenous author who writes science fiction. Oh my God. Because Rebecca Roanhorse is an Indigenous author who writes sci-fi fantasy stuff, and I read what was it called? It was The Lightning. I'll put a little picture of it up. I can't remember what it was. The Lightning Thief. That's not it. That's definitely not it. God, it's killing me. I wish I could remember. I can't remember though. I'm gonna feel so stupid when I put the little picture up here. But I loved that book. I thought it was really fun, really imaginative, and it was really interesting. I can't remember what tribe she's from. I want to say Cherokee or Navajo? Trail of Lightning. That was it. It does not say her tribe on here. But it was just really interesting to read a book that was inspired by Native American mythology. I really loved how she wove that into the first book that I read by her. So I really wanted to read this series because this series has even more hit behind it. So this is the second book. I think it's a trilogy, and the third book is coming out soon, so I should be able to binge this one too. No harm in that. And then the very last book we have is not a sequel, but that is The Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. This is book 1 of Broken Empire. I've never gotten a mass market paperback from Book Outlet before. I didn't even know that they sold them, to be honest. This is a high fantasy series that I know nothing about, but I've wanted to read Mark Lawrence. I've heard a lot about him and his work, and I've never picked up a book by him before. So when I saw this on there for $2, I thought it was perfect to give him a shot. Let's read a little back. When he was 9, he watched as his mother and brother were killed before him. Yikes. By the time he was 13, he was the leader of a band of bloodthirsty thugs. By 15, he intends to be king. It is time for Prince Honoris Jorg Ancrath, what a name, to return to the castle he turned his back on, to take what's rightfully his. Since the day he hung, pinned on the thorns of a briar patch, and watched Count Renard's men slaughter his mother and young brother, Jorg has been driven to vent his rage. Life and death are no more than a game to him, and he has nothing left to lose. Sounds good. I love some high fantasy. And I'm really excited to check out like another beloved, I can never say that word right, another beloved sci-fi fantasy writer, and like sink my teeth into this. So I'm very excited about that. So there you go. There's my little book haul. This one is actually gonna be the last one for a while, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've read any of these books below. Let me know if you want to read them. Let me know what you're currently reading. Just let me know something down below, and I love responding to your little comments. So that's all. Okay, see you later. Goodbye.